Hello everyone, this is Stephen Balch, your instructor for Intro to Computer Applications at Ozarka College. This morning what I'd like to do is give you a little bit of feedback on the activities that I've graded this week, that first set of activities. I graded those earlier this week. Hopefully you've had a chance to go in and look at your grade for those Word Module 1 activities and read the corresponding grading comments. If you haven't already done that, I would recommend going ahead and doing that as soon as you can, and let me know if you have any questions at all about the comments that I made on your assignments. I try to be very specific on, if I did have to count any points off, be very specific on why I had to count points off. But like I said, if you do have questions about that, just let me know. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you have. All right. Most of you did well on the assignments, and I really appreciate those of you that are putting the time and effort in. It really shows. Most of you are getting a good start to the semester and really digging in and getting the work done and doing it correctly. So keep up the good work on that. I really appreciate that. Now, I did notice just a few students did not submit the activities for some reason. If you're still having problems getting your textbook, or if you're having some other issues that are preventing you from getting that first set of activities submitted, please let me know as soon as possible, and I'll be glad to work with you on this first set, because I know we had the time off for the snow and so forth, so it's kind of been a rocky semester to a certain extent, but I think we're starting to get back on track at least. So like I said, if you did run into those issues and you need some help, just let me know and I'll be glad to work with you. Let's see. On assignment 2, that was the assignment where where it asked you to open up a data file that already had some text for the flyer and already had a little bit of the formatting done for the flyer, and then it had you go through and make changes to that, specific changes, formatting changes and so forth to the flyer. Some of you, instead of doing that, you created a new document. And so I just wanted to kind of point out that always make sure that you're following the instructions for each assignment carefully, and that if it says to open up a data file, you need to make sure you're doing that, okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. Also, always make sure that once you get an assignment completed, you've completed a particular document, always double check it against the, compare it with the example in the book or in the assignment instructions, and just make sure that you kind of go line by line and make sure that all the formatting is correct, all the text is inputted correctly, and so forth. Most of you are doing that, but there are a few of you that probably need to spend just a little bit more time kind of proofreading your document, making sure that all of the text and the formatting is correct. All right? And like I said, if you need help with that, just let me know. I'll be glad to help you in any way I can on that. The Word Module 1 objective test, most of you did well on that, but I did notice that most of you just took it one time. Just as a reminder, you don't have to take it more than once if you're happy with the grade you make on the first attempt, but I just want to remind everybody you can take it more than once, and up until the due date. You can take it as many times as you want to up until the due date. So feel free to do that. Don't think that just because you've taken it once and made a particular grade on it that's it. You can always retake it if you want to. And on those objective tests, my advice on that, to be successful on those, is to set aside a good amount of time, at least 30 minutes to an hour to work through those tests. Some of you may need more time than that. Some of you may need less, but that's just kind of average about how long it's going to take to be able to look up the answers in the textbook that you don't already know the answer to, and so forth. And remember, you can use your books on that. any other learning resources you want to use on the objective test. You can use basically anything you want to on that. Okay, those objective tests are really just meant to kind of gauge your ability to understand the basic terms that are presented in the modules. I know, most of what we're doing and assessing on and evaluating is our ability to create the types of documents and so forth, files that we need to be able to create in Microsoft Office. But there's also a need to understand the terminology as well. And that's kind of where that comes in. All right. One other thing I want to mention, there were several of you that had problems changing the line spacing on the documents or paragraph spacing. Some of you, when it said to change the spacing above, you change the spacing below that paragraph instead. So just make sure that when you type in the point value, 6 point, 8 point, 10 point, 12 point, whatever it says, or 0 point, to change the paragraph spacing to, just make sure that you're changing that, entering that in the correct box. If it says below, then you need to make sure you're entering that in the below box. All right. If it says above, obviously enter it in the above box. Okay. So some of you just you did apply the paragraph spacing and the amount that it said, but you just applied it to the wrong place in the documents. Some of you applied it above when it should have been below, and vice versa. Okay. If you still have questions about how to do that, then just let me know, and I'll be glad to explain that or demonstrate that. You can also just go back and watch the demonstration video for that assignment 1 for Word Module 1, and I basically show you how to do that. So anyway, because several of you had that as an issue on the assignment, I just thought I'd kind of bring that up. All right, so that brings us to our next set of activities. So if we go to the activities page in Miles Arca, right now we are on week 3 of the semester, okay? And you'll notice there's nothing due this week, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't be working on the activities that are due really the first day of next week, which is Sunday, February 4th. So you should be working on Word Module 2 activities, which you'll notice under week 4 are due the first day of week 4. So don't let that sneak up on you. Be working on that now, and don't wait till week 4 to get started, because you'll just have that one day to work on it. So, and that's something that a couple of you have asked about that I thought I would explain here as well, is that the way this class is set up, there's not going to be work due every week. And that's because there are some sets of activities, some modules that take more than 7 days. That I want to give you more than 7 days to work on it. And so that's why there are going to be some weeks there's nothing due. And so don't let the activity sneak up on you. All right. Now, Word Module 2 involves learning how to properly format an MLA style research paper. All right. And it's going to teach you how the basic formatting as far as the requirements for the font and the font size and so forth, and the margins and indentations. But it's also going to show you the correct procedure for entering citations and the bibliography. Okay. So this particular module is going to take some time to work through. So that's why it's very critical that you get started as soon as you can. Hopefully you've already gotten started on that, but if you haven't, I would do so as soon as possible, because it is going to take some time. There's going to be quite a bit more formatting, more formatting than what we did in Module 1. Okay? So just kind of keep that in mind. Just make sure that you're carefully following the instructions for each assignment. All right. And you'll notice you've got 3 assignments there for Word Module 2. You've got an objective test as well. And then there's a help discussion. So that help discussion is there in case you have questions as you're working through the activities. That's a place where you can ask your question, and then I can respond to your question, and other students in the class that may have similar questions may get their questions answered by you asking your question there and me answering it. So that I would much rather you use that Word Module 2 help discussion to ask a question about the assignment rather than sending me an email, because of the fact that it would maybe help other students in the class if you do it through the discussion board there. Okay? And so that's really all I have for you for today. So just keep working. Most of you are doing very well. Those of you that are struggling, just contact me, and I'll be glad to help you in any way I can. All right? So enjoy the rest of your week and your weekend, and I will talk to you sometime next week. Thank you.